This is your daily market review for Monday, October 7th, 2024. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent. This is your daily market review, Monday, October 7th, 2024. Hopefully you had a great weekend. As we go into this week, please keep friends and family in Florida, potentially the Southeast, in your prayers. We know it's probably going to get ugly down there, and just, think about those who might be less fortunate in dire straits, and if you need help, don't hesitate to reach out to those folks, offer support. So we know going into today that the market has been kind of what I would suspect, what we talked about, like trapping up. There's a lot of problems on the horizon. I mean, we've talked about it. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but again, sometimes the market and the economy, whatever you want to call it, like the correlation do not line up. I look at it more as a ultimate risk that the market is very scared of ultimately, which to me is the rotation from tech into materials, oil and gas, which is going to be hard for the feds to basically digest going into what they were wanting to was a stimulative mode. All right, we've talked about that with oil prices rising, with them manufacturing the data. And again, people say, oh, I don't know about that. I'm like, no, go look at the U.S. housing data, look at the jobs data. You see certain things that are being that are being altered, and these things that are legit. Again, people living that in the real economy do not feel wealthy, do not feel, again, we talk about the jobs number, government jobs. Again, I could go on this for hours. I don't want to do it. The point being is, again, are you not surprised manufacturing better looking data going into an election for the prevailing party to look good going into an election? Of course. Now, when does that, we saw the same thing in 2008. We'll see what happens here as you get deeper into it. Long story short, though, just be careful. I think the risk reward is to the downside. We've talked about it, why, the evidence. And again, see it for yourself. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. But again, I appreciate love, support, generous donations. You figure out, again, a probability-based game. You are the coach here of your own team. You're the one pressing enter. You do not want to learn to rely on others solely for information. Again, look at the people who follow and trade what Kramer said. They just ultimately get burned. Again, you have to define your risk, set your stops. Just know what you're willing to win and lose. And again, trade around your positions. If you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube, follow on Twitter, posting trades as well. Again, the education series. Again, hit that notification bell. I appreciate it. Leave a comment below. Stop, pause, do me a favor to help the algorithm pick up on this. Again, if you've been following this channel, hit the heart button, share with a friend. I appreciate it. Again, if that's all you can do, hey, amazing. Because again, I think this is what helps people who I get so much good feedback. Thank you for just giving me the idea that the market is not a easy, predictable money-making machine. Again, it's up, down, left, right, all over the place. And I need more understanding of how this all works. I'm not looking for certainties. I'm looking for probabilities. I'm like, once you get your head wrapped around that, I'm telling you, that's how the big money thinks too. Think about it. The more they're up, the less they own. They manage their positions with options, all sorts of crazy stuff. Not crazy, it's just normal. But what's normal is just all in all the time. Huge risk. Saw that one Tesla trader get absolutely smoked. Again, turn profits into passive income and properties. Holler at your boy. Let me know how I can help you. Again, 2 agents for the price of 1. Click on the calendar, no matter what you want to talk about when it comes to trading, investing, markets, economy, real estate. Holler. Let me know how I can help. All right, we know going into the next Fed meeting, November 7th, it was a 50 basis point cut. Now it's looking only like a quarter. And I honestly think if they try to print another positive number, there's zero chance they can cut. They have to pause. Even though the economy is slowing very quickly. You got a lot of issues. We've talked about that. So just keep an eye on it. Bitcoin, it's interesting how MicroStrategy is acting. I hate how it says every single time. And we've talked about, again, am I bullish or bearish Bitcoin? Again, I think it's just let it play out in the chop zone. Again, I don't own crypto, so I'm not going to talk a book with them. Again, I understand them. But again, big chop zone. You get over 72,000, 73, then you're good to go. If it doesn't, it comes back. It does what I think all commodities, all risk-on assets can do, is they can get sold, liquidated. Institutions, hedge funds, selling, mutual funds, end of quarter, end of year games. That's the kind of stuff that can happen here. Oil, this is killing the feds. They want to see oil down. They don't want to see it rising 15% off the lows after their first cut. Natural gas, as we talked about, very risky in my opinion. Not the long term, but near term. Again, I expected when they flush the baby with the bathwater, everything will get thrown out because that's what the feds are going to try to do. They're going to try to get people to jump into when my bonds, dollar, risk off assets, and then they'll come into puking up some material names. And again, you usually see a hedge fund or institution blow up, and then that's the time to buy this stuff. Dollars, we talked about. Dollar volatility is on the rise. Look at that thing picking up. Bonds, as we talked about, the Feds have lit the, I mean, look at this. We talked about the Fed peak. You're welcome. Boom, pulling back. Now you're at support, but again, I'm not unhedging the position I have left. I'm just going to let that ride and see what helps or see what plays out. Again, I mean, it's hard for me to even fathom at this point taking off the hit unless the market, again, because here's the thing. The market was at 5,100 on the S&P. Last time it was at this interest rate. Keep that in mind. What happens next? Your guess is as good as mine. Just be careful. Again, because the more you see oil popping up, and it might be a buy the rumor, sell the news on the hurricane, as we talked about in the Discord room. It's just, man, this is a tough market. And again, this is where you play certain things, hedge certain things, you take profits. Again, longer term, I would think they want to get rates down, but inflation gets nutty. There's no guarantee. So if you got hedges on, and again, say you're not sure about it, just sell your bond position. Unhedge it and close it out. It's nothing wrong with that. Again, taking the money. VIX, we talked about waking up. Thought this was a birthing pain for a bigger play in time. Maybe into the 70s, 80s, 90s. We'll see. Be careful out there. I'm just telling you. Just don't bury your head. VIVIX, we talked about this. Always wakes up before the VIX. There you go. Looking like it. SPY, back to support. Watch the 20-day. Keep an eye on it. I mean, again, the risk reward here. 13 days of chopping up here. Again, if it breaks out, goes over, great. Bulls win. Fine, whatever. But it feels like a bull trap on the daily, weekly, monthly, kind of setting up. So we talked about bull trap, lower high, doji on Friday. All right, watch the 20. Well, I mean, just watch 478. IWM shorted this. Got basically a double out of my options finally at the close. I wasn't making the close. I guess it was more like, I don't know, 2:30ish Eastern Standard. Close out that position. It's like, whew. Bought some Monday puts on the IWM. Again, I still think it's going lower in time. I mean, it's leading down. Look at it, it's lagging. DIA, which has been holding up, keep an eye on it. Watch the 20-day. Simple. Gold, got to make this fast. Again, I like gold long-term. Disappear for a month, a year. Maybe not a month, but a year. You will absolutely see higher gold prices. I think you'll see the same with silver. But it's going to get choppy and sloppy. This is interesting up here. This candle, again, on Friday was very interesting. Because, again, look at that wick on that thing. Everyone thinking the breakout gives it all back. Right? Miners have not been confirming, right? Look at this. Miners should be zip, 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 zipping away. Ripping away. No, right? All right, look at the silge. No. Telling you, miners lead. Something is off here. And if I'm wrong on this and the miners don't lead, then that's the one-off, not normal scenario. We're talking about AEM should be ready to go. AG, ready to go. No, something is not right, y'all. Telling you. We'll see what happens here. Newmont should be breaking out. Hecla, again, I think this one's interesting because I think Pelosi's buying this one. I don't know. Watch Hecla. Newmont. This one should be over the 50s. Pass, like a head and shoulders top. Any questions on miners? See, again, I'm not like bearish. I'm not saying here go out and short these, but the actual bullishness doesn't look like it's confirming. That's what's scaring me about these things. And I've seen what can happen. Be careful. Please be careful. Please be careful. Please, I'm begging you. Taiwan Semi. We talked about, again, it looks like they got to pump up on some, what's the meeting coming up? I don't know, big chip meeting. Keep an eye on this one. Macron, we talked about this being a dog, but we talked about it was going to pop into earnings. It didn't trade the earnings. Some people did, but people have shorted the earnings. So far, again, that trade's looking good. I'd be watching the 200-day. If it fits and hits, fails, good. AMD, this one's been on pretty much a rocket ship off the lows. Looks interesting because, again, is this a lower high or is it a breakout? Again, I would really like to see it get over 185 to confirm much of anything, but it could play the game. NVIDIA, again, upgraded today at the highs. Looked like it was going to break out of this zone in this box, break out over the 130. Gave it all back. And the highest volume of the day candles were on the selling in the afternoon. No surprise. They seem to do this every day. Just keep telling me, like, every day. Just is what it is. SMCI. I know some folks looking at this, playing it. once it got over the 20-day, it makes sense. Back up near 48. I think even 50s is possible if it seems that the market holds up. Intellectual property. This one's a dog again. I think it gets delisted. Watching this 20, 50-day could bounce here. SMH, again, if you bought Soxus under 20 today, feeling pretty good about it. Just building up for a lower high. Again, a lot of this chip stuff coming by, the rumor selling news. Adobe, good God. Again, we talked about lagging, gapping down post earnings, smoked out. Apple got a downgrade today again. Piper Jeffrey. We talked about sales are crap. Everyone knows it. Keep an eye on it. QQQ's going to be affected by this 50-day breaking. Amazon, we talked about again, the pump and pop and flop. Hits the 20-day. Watch out. I mean, look at this doji. Meta, it's been holding up pretty well. Again, I think Zuckerberg's been kissing, the ring of the R party. Back testing the trend line. This could be railroad tracks, left, right, left, right. What follows is the right color. Be careful. CRM, this one's been holding up pretty damn well. Back into the blue zone, filling the gap. I mean, it makes sense. Watch here. Google having some antitrust issues. Talked about it. I mean, I thought it would hit the 100-day and fill the gap. Didn't. Big right. I mean, again, this candle's not that heavy. It seems a little sneakish, but we'll see. Microsoft, we talked about this again, not leading up. Look at this, new lows. NDAQ, people are like, oh, it's going to 100. I'm like, you're freaking high. Here you go. Again, who is going to lead? Tech or inputs? It's going to be inputs. If you're growing this big tech industry and the tech pricing in the future, well, you need inputs, you freaking dummies. And they're not going to be listed on the Nasdaq composite and exchanges. Goodbye. Meaning goodbye. Adios, amigos. The stock is cooked in time. Will it go down a straight line? No. MicroStrategy, nice up move. Man, I'm telling you, I think I'd be taking profits here. That's all. Again, we'll see what happens. Be careful. Netflix, this one has been holding up really well, but then down again, 17 points today. Watch the 20-day. Roblox, this thing, ever since it broke out, we talked about fake outs on this thing. Gives it right back. It looks a little oversold, but we'll see. PanW, like this one long term because of cybersecurity. It's just, I can't, it's just in a big sloppy chop range. Tesla, we talked about this. Everyone's bullish. Up at the highs again. Watching the 20-day. Again, Elon and Trump are boys now. We'll see. I don't know. 20 days key. It looks like it could be breaking it. Be careful. Insight, again, I love this company. I think they get bought out. Let it come back down. Again, I'm not chasing this price action. Plantar, which was up nicely on Friday. Everyone was giving it a big high five. Interesting. Is this a novice gap trap? Because this is a little sketchy. Novice gap. Now you engulf bar. Engulfing bar. Nom, 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 nom. McDonald's, we'll see. We'll see. McDonald's, again, we talk about fake breakouts. Like, man, if this thing can't get going, it's going to come right back. I mean, you could honestly put a very tight short in, and if it works, it's going to work. DKNG, very simple. Again, define your risk. Like risk $3 to make 30. 10 to 1. Yeah. DKNG, we talked about. Fake trap or fake breakout. Gives it back. Hits the 200-day. All things that we predicted. Working out pretty well. Airbnb, we talked about the trash floats last. Okay. I mean, man, if you can get a 100-day pop, that would be a freaking gift. Fill that gap. Holy shit. If they get an upgrade or something stupid. Costco. Again, we've talked about this one holding up really well, but it's been a leader. Said that candle was a little ominous. Man, you break the 50-day, coming to the hundo. Starbucks, again, I'm not a fan of this going anywhere anytime soon. Again, they steal Chipotle management, and now it's just digesting the move. That's all you really can say there. Just got to get over 100, got to hold 92. It's just in an $8, I don't know, like a 9-10% range. FedEx, again, things you would see if the economy was ripping, right? Should be high, gaps down in earnings, dead cat bounce. Again, because you think about it, nothing goes in a straight line. Bounces, giving it back up. Man, if we break this trend line around 251, good God. See you later. Caterpillar, meow, holding up pretty damn well. This one's tough because, I mean, I'd be itching to short this one. DE, Deer, again, this has been a great trade. We talked about range lows, range highs. Watch what happens at 20-day because it could be coiling up where it's about to just come right back to range lows. Nucor, again, we like commodities long term, letting them trade, let them breathe, let them play out. X, same thing. I think I like this in the 20s. Again, I know. Valet, again, we talked about this being a bottom down here. This big novice gap trap near term. Keep an eye on it. Arrow, again, we like junior copper. Just, I don't want to chase these names. Look at this. It breaks out of the pennant and comes right back. CCJ holding up pretty damn well. Credit where credit's due. But it's coming into resistance. And dojis, be careful. Just be careful. CF. Ag names, again, we like these long term, but it feels like they're big chop ranges. I don't see how they break out with a market that's not really strong. NTR, Mosaic, NTR, all looks the same. Aaron. Look at this thing, you know. I mean, it's, again, you gotta love aluminum. I would just, again, I've been waiting for the 20s. Miss it, you miss it, but it'll be a bigger move in the end. XLF, talked about it, like, nice work Friday trap. Gives it haul back and more, fills the gap. Watching the 20-day. Again, financials got problems, y'all. Telling you they have problems. They absolutely carry all the burden, all the risk, everything going on. JP Morgan, again, I guess everyone was holding it for their dividend, their big, juicy $1.25 dividend. Earnings on Friday, be careful. Morgan Stanley, again, you got to be, look, it's like watching this one today, like, all right, I think today's the short, but I didn't really focus on it as much as I should. I'd be putting that one back in the roster. But they have earnings coming up. A lot of these, Bank of America has earnings as well, I think, on Friday. Nope, next week. Keep an eye on it. Again, Buffett can't sell it fast enough. Goldman Sachs, keep an eye on it, right? 500 area. Carry. Again, you would think that junior banks would be great if the economy's great. XBI, another risk-on name. Not so looking so risk-on-ish, right? Fails to break out, giving it all back. XHB, again, we talked about the housing market. Index looks interesting. Look at this starting to roll over. Roll over, little puppy. Interesting. XRT, again, retail just kind of flowing through this big choppy range. If this thing turns over again, you're seeing some interesting signals. Solar holds up when oil goes up. Not surprised, but hits the 200-day. Doink. If you're following solar, look at that sedge. This thing's going to 15. ENPH. Sweet, nothing today. First solar, again, it looks like it's going to fill this gap down in like the 205, 2 something range, 207, 208. Holding the 50-day. I talked about this being like the gap, like this trappish game. Trappish game. HYG, again, you got to be crazy to be behind corporate debt. Told y'all. Look at this, the volume's increasing. I mean, again, corporate debt's so dangerous in my opinion. Oil and gas, let's end here. Oil squeeze, again, this has got to be pissing off the feds. Look at that thing. Again, UNG, I'm not a fan of this piece of crap. Just, I'm not. Again, I like shorting the cold. Again, we talked about taking profits down here. So far, so good if you did. XOP, again, you would think it would be higher with oil up today. Not much. 100, 200, we talked about the trend line. Watching it. ExxonMobil holding up. Is it breaking out? Continuing? We'll see. Doji today. Keep an eye on it. CVE, again, I like this one at 16. Seems to be dropping between 16 and 20. Keep it simple, stupid. Valero, the gasoline names popped on Thursday last week. Inside day there. NPC, same kind of thing. Just not much follow through. Occidental, again, people, I like this company long term. I think it's undervalued. Some volume down here. Again, if it retests in that 50 area, holler at your boy. It makes sense to me. EQT, again, not a really big fan of chasing these names. Think they're in big consolidation patterns. We'll let them throw the baby out with the bathwater because that is what they do. Does that make sense? Flex LNG, last but not least, same kind of thing. Big, choppy range. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Again, if you're from North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Southeast, struggling, need help, please don't hesitate to reach out. People are always here. They love you. They care about you. If you need support, do not hesitate to ask. And fortunately for what's going on in the world, you can't really rely on you insert that next name, but I have my own opinions on those things. And so, again, let me know how I can help. Appreciate you guys. Be careful the rest of the week. That's all I can say, right? Yom Kippur. I think there's going to be more Iran-Israel issues. Man, it's just, you would, again, I don't want to sound political, but again, it's like the powers that be, left and right, get your crap together. This stuff is the stuff. I mean, it's almost like we're the world superpower. Everyone looks at us for leadership, and we have none. We just don't have any, and that's the thing. This, again, whether election or not, I mean, again, you need people, we, the constituents, have to hold them accountable. Stop letting the minority, the mass media just kind of press these, I don't know, narratives. Because they're not, again, people know what's going on out there. But again, don't be scared to have your voice heard. Again, say how you feel. I say how I feel when I can. But again, I'm just one person. I'll tell you in person. I'll do my part in Colorado. You guys do your part. Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.